Yes, the war nobody asked for. As y'all know by now, The Shy season 7 had a couple storylines this season. Some of them storylines in the season were definitely decisions that were made at a point in time. This, of course, being one of them decisions of an unnecessary storyline that they chose to keep. When I first seen the scene, I remember I was fake hyped. Man, Reg had just came back from the dead, and he's immediately telling Jake he's trying to be outside. Who's the head of the Shy right now? I'm trying to take the mob back for myself. I'm like, hold on, take the mob back, nigga. You was never a head nigga to begin with. You was behind Q, then you was behind Duda. And then you died for a couple seasons, came back, and now you're trying to become the head of the mob again. Maybe you need to switch occupations at this point. I will say though, I did mess with the immediate initiative Reg showed right out the gate. Pulling up on Nuck talking about, look, I'm gonna take the mob for myself. This is my shit. We can go to war anytime, any day. I'm ready. Leading to this very intense stare down. So I'm thinking, okay, bet this gonna be a big focus of the season, right? Reg, who just came back from the dead, is somehow going to challenge Nuck, who's at the top of the mob, push him to where we actually see some leadership qualities out of Nuck that we've never seen in past seasons. But for the most part, we've seen Nuck in the mob. He's been mostly protected by Duda, putting himself in the front lines, even though Duda does send him and others out to do his dirty work a lot of the time. Nuck really never had an issue standing beside Duda. It wasn't until he tried to take up that deal with Rob and Tiff, join the weed business, you know, the weed business that Duda had no idea about because Rob and Tiff were trying to defect from him earlier on in season 6. Yeah, that weed business. That Duda decided, okay, Nuck, you trying to go against me for real? Put the hands up, little nigga. And they got to fighting, and Duda made it a one-sided contest real quick. But other than that, Nuck really been chilling in the mob for real. So I really expected this exchange between him and Reg to bring out some type of characteristic out of Nuck that we have not seen this season. On top of the fact that Nuck definitely supposed to be stressing the fact that he took out Rob, right? So at this point in the season, I'm thinking we gonna have Alicia on Nuck's head, dealing with Tiff, who, if not this episode, the one after, told him that she doesn't believe that the person Alicia killed was actually the one that took out Rob, keeping the mob off the Shy Police's radar, trying to develop a relationship with the pastor so that he can have his money cleaned at the church, and now Reg returning from the dead trying to take his spot at the top of the mob. Not in the moment, but as the season was going on, I believed all these things was going to impact Nuck's character this season, including him realizing that he had to do what he needed to do to protect his son at all costs. You see how Nuck's been moving since Keisha revealed to him last season that Ronnie Jr. is actually his kid. So I just felt like he was going to make it his mission to not let nobody take his spot at the top of the mob. Now, on Reg's end, we got somebody who clearly has something to prove. Somebody who time and time again was not getting the respect he deserved from Duda, Q, their affiliate, getting put down the way he did in season 2 to come back now. At a point in the story where so much has happened, your name is not really relevant in the street like that no more. I mean, Reg has nobody at this point in the season other than Jake. So for you to even be coming to Nuck in this fashion, when he has the whole mob back him, mind you, at this point, Reg has been gone for 3+ seasons. I mean, the balls in this guy, right? I'm thinking, how is he even going to go up against Nuck at this point? There's just no way. They absolutely got to be writing something crazy for this storyline this season, right? Honestly, I wish I could say that they did. But we got damn near nothing after this stare down between these two. I mean, Nuck's primary focus after this was developing his relationship with the pastor, wrestling with being in the streets and being a good man, having Bakari be his lookout/security, and then on top of all this, his lies over shit that he caused himself, getting people caught up in the process, those people being Zay, his own cousin, and Alicia, the mother of Rob, who he killed in cold blood for no reason. Yeah, Nuck really was not on shit this season, I'm trying to tell you. And on the other end, we have Reg, who had other things to deal with this season, essentially returning as public enemy #1 to his own family. After the episode where he reintroduced Jake and Trick to their mother, Reg just out here wilding. He out here making out and then hunching with Jake's girl in the same episode and convincing him to bring her over to do these things. I mean, just diabolical. Even let bro leave his own crib. I'm surprised he didn't start hunching that girl on the same couch they was making out on. And his beef with Trick goes way back, further than we've even seen in the series yet, which they also did a poor job of expanding on in season 7. So yet another thing we have to revisit in season 8. We could have just did it in this season. And then after shooting Emmett, we already know Trick and Jake cut off all communication with this guy. Jake kicks him out of his house. He starts staying with Candace, who's also Keith's cousin. Then Keith decides to contact the shooter for Red. So slowly but surely, it seems like he's building his army of people that's going to go up against Nuck. But again, this is still clearly not enough to go up against the whole mob. But at this point, who was even thinking that they were really going to go up against each other? Because we had Hannibal working with Nuck, who was working with Detective Toussaint to take Reg up off the streets because Reg got Detective Toussaint's son incarcerated some years ago. They did a little messy bid or whatever. And we know Reg not going to stay in jail for more than 5 seconds, so her son had to do all his time on top of the time that he got sentenced when he first went to jail. So the show just never intended on fully fleshing out this war between Nuck and Reg. And honestly, it does make a lot of sense. That's because Reg really had no way of going up against Nuck this season, if we're being honest. Not just because Nuck had the mob in his back pocket, but have you seen his plot armor this season? This man was literally unfuckwittable for absolutely no reason. The Shy will bring something up and just not have it be of any sort of consequence until it decides it's of a consequence. For example, Nuck taking out Papa's pops. Like, Papa still does not know that happened. He still does not know who took out his dad. Same with Tiff, obviously not knowing that Nuck was the one that took out Rob. Then they still not knowing that Bakari has something to do with Jamal's shooting, etc. This is obviously a scene that's supposed to set the stage for a bigger war that's probably going to go down in season 8. But the way they ended season 7 too, it still just does not look like Reg has anything to go up against the mob. And I really feel like that was a missed opportunity. Honestly, the whole Toussaint storyline was just a missed opportunity. We wasted so many episodes with Toussaint trying to get Reg in jail only for bro to be out 5 seconds later, which took away from him growing his squad to go up against the mob in a potential season 8 war. Then you have Nuck, who's debating who he wants to be in all this, but he's not really receiving much pressure from people on the outside. It just makes this whole face-off situation feel unearned and pretty underwhelming, as some of the other storylines this season have been, as you've seen I've talked about. And if you haven't seen I've talked about it, what are you doing? Go ahead and tap into my other video. I mean, I literally just dropped this one the other day, so you know there's that. But yeah, in conclusion, definitely feel like they could have kept this stare down going into season 8, and maybe have Reg stay in the shadows a little longer this season. I know that's not in his character, but again, this just had no payoff. It almost made him revealing that he was alive to Nuck make no sense. Y'all let me know in the comments though, will we revisit this war between Nuck and Reg in season 8? How on earth is Reg going to go up against the mob with his current squad? We didn't even see his shooter in the last episode. The shooter he claimed he needed the most in season 7. They just off-threw her character in the season finale. So is she not on the team anymore? Or is he coming with a whole new squad in season 8? What's gonna happen? I mean, I really need to know, because unless Nuck gets caught lacking crazy in season 8, this right now is looking like a self-deletion mission for Reg, in my opinion. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments though. I'll be in host Faceoff. We've been entertained, and we gonna talk soon. Peace, y'all.